Hi, I'm Shifa, and this is my first vlog slash documentary slash vlogumentary type of video, whatever you want to call it, of my experience of traveling to Jamaica. Now, as someone who loves to travel, I've only been to familiar places such as North Africa, the Middle East and Europe. So traveling to the Caribbean was totally out of my comfort zone, but I encourage anyone to do it. So from learning about the Islamic history of Jamaica to eating amazing vegan food on the hills of Port Antonio to socializing with the local people and finding more about their locally owned businesses. It's been an amazing, incredible experience that was totally out of my comfort zone that I have experienced through Burgundy Roots. Burgundy Roots is the first and only group that hosts Muslim-friendly retreats, as far as I'm aware, in Jamaica. Burgundy Roots was founded by Wafat, who's a Canadian Algerian, born in Algeria, and she's been living in Canada since the age of 8. As well as being a full-time teacher, she also organises amazing Muslim-friendly tours in Jamaica, Egypt, Morocco, and she's also ventured out to Saudi Arabia for Umrah this year. Tell us more about Burgundy Roots and how did it come about?
So I've always loved Jamaica. When I moved to Toronto at the age of 13, I came across and met a lot of Jamaicans and was fascinated by the culture. And so, that was always at the back of my mind. A lot of my friends who were converts were of Jamaican descent and Caribbean descent. And so first year university, I went to Peru to teach English. And on the way back from Peru, I stopped in Jamaica. I had always wanted to go, so I wanted to check it out. It was beautiful. And then about 6 years after that, I think it would have been 6 years. 6 years after that, I went back to Jamaica with someone who had introduced me to the Muslim community in St. Elizabeth on the south coast of Jamaica. And I think that's when I really fell in love with Jamaica. I didn't know there were mosques there. I didn't know there was a Muslim community. So I think between going to the mosque and waterfalls and meeting some of the community members, it was really, really life-changing. And I loved it so much that the following year, I was like, you know what? I gotta go back. So I put up a Facebook status and I was like, anyone who wants to come to Jamaica with me, let me know. I'll take you ladies around. And then I had about 7 ladies and 2 kids come, and they came on the first trip. 2 of them brought their kids. They came, we stayed in a small house in the country. They had an amazing time and suggested that I do another one. And, once they said that, I was just like, whoa, that never even crossed my mind. It was just a one-time thing. And so that's how the retreats came to be.
Why did you name your business Burgundy Roots?
So Burgundy is the color of rebirth. And roots in Jamaica, usually roots is a connotation of, they'll say, she's a roots girl, or you listen to roots reggae. A roots person is someone who I would say follows a natural lifestyle, that is interested in where they come from and where they're going, and they're grounded. And that's why they refer to roots reggae as music that's very conscious. So if Burgundy is the color of rebirth and roots are a way to ground you, it's kind of like grounding yourself in a universal experience. So it's a renewal, but it's also a foundation at the same time. So it's a balanced way of traveling. You travel and you enjoy yourself, but you're also careful and you're cautious of how you travel. As Muslims, I think it's important for us. It's a good form of da'wah, and it is, it's important. We get a lot of love in Jamaica. People know we don't drink and we don't smoke, and we kind of just, at least, we go on the road and we do our thing. So people are very respectful and they like us a lot. So that's the idea. That's the name behind Burgundy Roots.
One of the most interesting things that I've learnt was the similarities between 2 entirely different cultures. Now, I grew up in London, which is a multicultural city, so I'm very used to being surrounded by different people from all types of backgrounds. And I had North African friends, I've had West African friends, I've had Caribbean friends, and so I've always found there to be certain similarities in our friendship groups, whether that was our banter or free-spirited personality. We had similar histories and struggles that contributed to the people that we are today. One of the most interesting things that I've learned was there were similarities between Jamaicans and Algerians, and I spoke to Wafat more about this.
I think both people are very, very resilient and rebellious by nature, just by way of what happened in the former countries, be it Algeria. We had the biggest revolution in Africa, and it was said that when transatlantic slave trade took place, the most rebellious slaves were dropped off in Jamaica first. So I think we definitely have the revolutionary spirit. And with that comes tough skin. You have to have tough skin. We don't, Algerians they're not emotional people. They're very straight up and blunt, but we're not like, it's not like you're always crying and wailing, and we have this thing of just like, fix up, get up and dust yourself off and try again and keep going, right? So that's definitely a similarity that I found between Algerians and Jamaicans. Also the sense of humor. Like I said, you have to have tough skin. So, and also I think both people appreciate people that are genuine.
It also appears to be that Islam is not a new thing in Jamaica. There's plenty of rich Islamic history there, and I spoke to Abdul Rashid, who was also another member of the Burgundy Roots team, more about the Islamic history of Jamaica.
But of course, we do have Islamic history, in our history also as Jamaican people, because a lot of people that were brought from Africa, they were already Muslim, and a lot of places in Jamaica, also have Muslim name. Like take for instance in St. Elizabeth, where I'm from, which is the southern side of the island, you have places like Aberdeen, which mean father of religion. And there's places there, there's small communities there that is called like Jumahul, which were the Muslim slaves that were here, they used to worship there. So those places still, have those names. Even when we're traveling here to Portland, there's places like Yalas, which come from the word Ya Allah, which means oh God, When they refer to God, they say Jah. And the word Jah really comes from the word Yah, right, which means oh God. But because they don't know, people are far from their history and information, they preserve those words. Well, mashallah, everything is happening, in Allah's will. You all coming here to this island also, as females, a lot of females come here, and with your nur, with your light that you come with, it becomes great dawah to the island, And we have a common Jamaican term here because Jamaican men respect women a lot, especially modest women, And because of your modesty coming here, most Jamaicans, you find them in the street, they will say, oh Empress, which mean, you're a queen, And that come out of the way your dress code and your lifestyle, because that show morals and good discipline, So, like that it is here, And it's a lovely island, It's a beautiful place, MashaAllah.
It is a beautiful place indeed, with beautiful people too. And speaking of beautiful people, we also got to meet the lovely Muslim community of Kingston. This is where I also visited the central masjid there, and I also met Sheikh Tijani, who is the head of education and dawah of the Muslim Council of Jamaica for the central masjid in Kingston. Originally from Nigeria, he came to Jamaica as an Islamic worker to teach Muslims and non-Muslims alike about the religion of Islam, and he has been doing this amazing work since 1989.
So, alhamdulillah, Islamic Council is functioning very well. We have so many groups, and everybody play their own. We have an education group, somebody in charge of that. We have the sister group, somebody in charge of we have the youth group, somebody in charge of that. We have the program in the prison, alhamdulillah, and that program was so excellent. Now we have 35 people become a Muslim in prison. Almost every week we have somebody took Shahada, and we have the program for them. And the method that we use is that whenever somebody become a Muslim, we get somebody who has been in Islam for so long to attach to the person, to teach him, visit him, explain Islam to him, take him at the border to brother. So that will help a lot. So that is why we don't lose our new Muslim, like a lot of people lose a new Muslim in their their community. So we need to invite the youth to come to masjid, have the program for them, let them love the masjid. And then whenever you have anything that will trouble you, go to the masjid. Discuss it with the imam, discuss it with people in the masjid. Masjid is the area that we want the people to be in regular basis. So I advise the youth that regular basis, that to keep their deen, keep the masjid in your mind.
From studying Sharia in Medina to spreading dawah in Jamaica, it's clear to see that Sheikh Tijani has contributed massively to the Muslim community in Kingston and elsewhere. and it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen and probably one of my favourite highlights of Jamaica. Another unique experience of the tour was visiting farms and learning more about mindful ways of living. We visited the Living Daylights Cafe in the hills of Port Antonio, where we met Brandon and his wife, and we got to find out more about the amazing work that they do. Now, not only do they grow their own food and serve amazing farm-to-table vegan food, but they also host really cool events from reasonings to farm tours and hikes to world music and so much more. I was keen to find out more about their choice of food, so I spoke to Brandon about their reason for choosing to serve vegan foods.
Well, I think vegan food is, we talked about this before, it's a bit culture friendly because it transcends all dietary laws. I think if you talk about spirituality and culture, but for myself, you know, for my culture, you know, for Rasta people, you know, veganism is, we don't call it vegan, we say ital, because it's vital, you know. So we would say that italivity is really the way that is the direction for humanity to go and has been practiced by our elders for millennia. So it is something that living off the land is much more, it's better for everything. It's better for the environment, it's better to save in terms of waste and all of that, and the wanton killing and the nature of just killing so many animals all the time. So it's not just one reason, there's so many reasons. I mean, for my wife, she was interested in the apex of healthy food, and in a country that grows 52% of the world's medicinal plants, she was excited as a great chef already to come in and cite all of these foods and all of these herbs and create and spices that grow naturally and create something really fantastic with it.
I find the link between spirituality and food to be so fascinating. During our stay in Kingston, we also visited another farm where we happened to plant our own individual pineapples, which was another highlight of the trip.
Remember, walk like a duck, especially here because it's steep. Fast. So you really want to just chop, and you want to keep your body clear of the machete just in case it slides around. But there's a couple of spaces over here.
Come on, give it some more whack. It's heavy.
It's heavy. Or for me, the farm itself is called Zion Heights Farm. So Zion, like a heavenly place, no connection to any other Zions. And then the Heights, meaning it's a take on the word heights. But Rastafari, when we use the word heights, spelled I-T-E-S, it's your state of mind. So it's a higher state of mind. So the Zionites.
After that, I sat down with Christopher and we had a fascinating conversation about the effects of food on your spirituality. How much do you think food plays into your spirituality?
It's everything. It's everything. I mean, probably one of the most significant ways to see how food plays into spirituality is last year I had a friend come visit and we did fasting. We did a water fast, like a coconut water fast for like 7 days. And when you think about spirituality, you probably think about like the parts of your spirituality that you're most proud of, I think. You know,
That's true.
Very faithful, or, you know, I have a lot of positive, but the parts that you're not so proud of comes out when you're fasting.
That's true.
Because I'm addicted to food. I'm totally, and especially because I'm on the farm, there's food everywhere. There might be a mango or an apple or a guava. It showed me how much my spirituality can be affected by food. I mean, as far as growing food, it's everything. I can't separate the two. I wouldn't want to. Everything about what we grow here, what we serve to our guests, has my hands all over it. So it has my energy, it has my hopes, my dreams, my fears. Whatever was in me that day is going to go. And it's the same thing when we're preparing food in the kitchen. You know, Lisa is the head chef, so she has an energy that loves food. So whenever she's cooking and preparing food for people, she's putting all of that into the food, which is why it kind of hits people right in the heart, you know.
Stush and Bush also has really cool internships for those who are interested in farming and creating sustainable development. You can contact them on their website here. They've had interns from Paris, America, and elsewhere. So Check them out on their website and maybe I'll see you there because I'm also interested in farming and sustainable development. All in all, this has been an incredible experience for me and it definitely got me out of my comfort zone and taught me a lot about my traveling style. I definitely want to travel more consciously in the future and aim for a holistic way of traveling. At the very least, I want to avoid staying at resorts, especially if they don't happen to support the local community of Jamaica. And I really just want a more holistic approach to traveling that allows me to get to know the locals and support them and just really just have fun and just learn more about the history there. Thank you so much to Burgundy Roots and the rest of the team for being such kind-hearted and generous spirits and just very generous with your time and your knowledge about Jamaica. I recorded so much other footage, interviews and so many other things, but because I didn't want to make this video too long, I had to shorten it unfortunately. But thank you all to those involved in this video and thank you to everyone who's watching too. Until next time, be sure to check out Burgundy Roots and their retreats and I'll see you next time. Bye.